Hello, aspiring and beginner writers. Welcome to my writing channel. I'm Abubakar Aminu and I'm a rookie author writing my first magic fantasy trilogy titled The Singularity Mantra. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 rookie plotting mistakes that prevented me from writing and a simple 2-step framework that I used to write the first book in my trilogy titled The Order of Animal Sentinels. Let's dive in, starting with the first rookie mistake, which is trying to approach the writing process with character development. Yes, there are a lot of professional writers that approach their writing process with character development. That is because characters are one of the most interesting aspects of the writing process, but at the same time is one of the most daunting and challenging aspects of writing you encounter as a beginner writer. This is because there are no templates for writing character. Each of your story people is going to be a complete different ball game when you start writing them. Even the atmosphere people in your story, you have to develop some kind of voice, some nuances, things that will completely set them apart from every other person in your story. That is a lot of work. And if you attempt to start plotting your story from the perspective of character, I assure you, you are going to be overwhelmed. And after some time, you will just get fed up and just abandon the entire process if you are a complete beginner like me. The next rookie plotting mistake that prevented me from writing was trying to approach the entire writing process as a discovery writer. Yes, the resources out there will tell you that nearly all writers could be grouped into either discovery or outline writers. And if you are the kind of person that enjoy the creative aspect of writing, surely you might fall into the discovery writer category. But being a beginner, trying to start writing your stories as a discovery writer will keep pushing you into different directions, and at the end of the day, you may get frustrated and just get fed up with the writing process. But if you follow the outline approach to writing, you could have templates out there that you could rely on, which will help you to stay focused and to stay on track until you write your first couple of stories, after which you can fall back to your natural default, which is being a discovery writer. The third rookie mistake that most beginner writers will fall victims of is trying to write something completely original, something completely new, something fantastic. That was a major problem that I encountered because I felt that the entire point of being a writer is to be able to create something original, something fantastic, something completely new. Let's be realistic. As a beginner writer, you have not written anything before. So writing something completely original, fantastic, and new is going to overwhelm you. That was the third rookie plotting mistake that kept me from writing anything for over 2 to 3 years. I was just playing with the idea of writing my novel in my head. The solution to my problems came when I listened to a writing advice from Brandon Sanderson, where he advised aspiring and beginner writers to leverage the power of plot archetypes. Plot archetypes are these broad outlines that have been developed by professional writers associated with nearly every story that you can think of. Once you have your story idea, all you need to do is simply to look for that plot archetype that nearly fit into the kind of story that you want to tell, and you just simply adopt it. What discourages writers from using plot archetypes usually is the issue of originality and writing something completely new that I told you was keeping me away from writing. But let's face it, as a beginner writer, there is so much for you to learn, starting from the fundamental building blocks of storytelling to sentence structure, to finding your own voice, to a lot of other technical issues which you are not competent in. All you need to do as a beginner in this modern age is just for you to take your story idea and put it in any AI tool that you have been using and ask the AI to suggest plot archetypes that match your story idea. That was exactly what I did. I simply used ChatGPT to generate several plot archetypes for my story. And at the end of that process, I was comfortable with 5 plot archetypes which perfectly fit into the kind of story that I wanted to write. And those were the 5 plot archetypes that I simply used to develop the plot structure of my trilogy, the entire 3 books. So, as a beginner writer, using plot archetypes will therefore give you ready-made templates that you can easily adopt into telling your story. That does not mean that the story will not be original, because the voice, the diction, and all the other technicalities that goes into writing story are definitely going to be yours and yours alone. So there is nothing non-original in using a template. Besides, you are just beginning, you are just trying to learn the ropes of writing. That is the easiest way for you to ensure that you write your story from the beginning to the end. And I assure you, once you can write one story from beginning to the end, you are going to be more confident in writing your second and your third and subsequent stories. And along the way, you are going to learn a lot of stuff which you didn't even know you need to learn as a writer. So use plot archetypes and use the AI tool to understand what are plot archetypes, and then impute your story idea into an AI tool and let the AI help you suggest the plot archetypes that nearly fit your story idea, from which you read further and then you understand which plot archetypes will be a perfect fit or near perfect fit for your story, and from there you could move on to learning other aspects of writing which will come to you as you begin to write your story. Once you have your plot archetype selected, the next thing you need to understand is you need to understand the plot structure. And there are a lot of templates out there that will teach you about plot structure. There is the 3-act structure ascribed to Aristotle that was popularized by Trudy. There is the hero's journey that was developed by Joseph Campbell. And there is the Dan Harmon story cycle. So all you need to do is pick up material on these plot structures and understand what they are. Particularly, you need to understand what is called the plot points. Each story structure has subplot points. Like in the case of the 3-act structure, you could have the 8 plot points, you can have the 12 plot points, or you could have the 6 plot points that were developed by expert writers. And once you understand those plot points, you could use the plot archetypes that you have generated using the AI tool and write a small brief idea about what your story is all about from beginning to the end. And once you do this, you can leverage the same AI tool and impute that your brief background, and then ask the AI tool to use those plot structures and then develop a complete plot structure for your story. And I advise you to do this for the 3-act structure, for the hero's journey, and at the same time for Dan Harmon's story cycle. Doing this will enable you to compare and contrast, at the same time to understand what you need to put in your story and what you need to remove from your story. Because of the different approach through which these plot structures approach storytelling, you will discover once the AI give you feedback on a suggested plot structure using each of them, you understand which best suit the kind of story that you want to tell. And once you have that structure which perfectly align with the kind of story that you want to tell, all you need to do is just to take it and then go and refine it and refine it and refine it. And At the end of the day, you are going to have something that you can easily work with that will lead to you writing your first story. There you have it. Another simple framework that you could easily follow to plot compelling stories and start your journey as a beginner writer. And by the way, if you find what I've said so far useful, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, because doing so will greatly help me make better videos in the future. Happy writing. And if you want to learn how to come up with a viable story idea, then I will see you in this video here. Thanks for watching.